Washington Red Bear here with my youngest daughter, Skittle Bear. Her and I have been out in the garage doing some work. I was going to make a short video on it, but I didn't have my video card in my camera. But we just made a couple of cozies for my pots. This is my stainless steel pot. And we made the small cozy, picked the, this is a windshield sunscreen, picked it up at a thrift store for $3 and cut it out so that it would fit the two pots. This one worked out a whole lot better because of the wide. I made it a little bit wider so that it will fit down over the pot with the handles. This one ended up being tight with this handle, and when I pick it up I usually pick the pot up, and so I might end up having to remake this one. But what we're going to do is test them out. We're going to make some lunch for some top ramen and see how that goes. This one on the aluminum pot, the handle is recessed, and so I made a little cover to go up over that to add a little bit more insulation over that portion of it. If you've seen my other videos when I was up in the mountain doing a solo hammock camp, I used this stove. This is one that I picked up from a friend's Army surplus store down in the Tri-Cities here in Washington. It's a multi-fuel stove, DS, and I don't remember what the DS stands for, but it's a company just over the border here in Idaho that makes these. And they're very similar to the fire stove. They are made in the USA. They're cut out with back and front and sides, and you just put them, the slots in the grooves, and put them down, and then you take the panel that goes down, and being multi-fuel, if you put it in the bottom slot, you can use wood. Put it in the center slot, you can use an alcohol stove, or in the top slot you can use the fuel tabs. And I tried those up in the mountain a couple of weeks ago, and I tried boiling a cup of water with just one tablet. This is the first time I'd ever used these. This is for like the Esbit stoves, and it didn't work. It got the water warm but not hot enough for tea or coffee or hot chocolate, so it would take at least 2 if not 3 of those pellets, but you would put that up on the top. And so since I'm going to use my alcohol stove that I made, I'm going to put it in this center slot, and then you put the top one on, or the front, and this goes in the opposite direction from the two sides, and you line it up and you bow it out and then slide it into place, and then the tab slips in, and then you got a good stove. Then you have these 3 wires that slide into slots in the top, and then by doing that you can pick the stove up and move it. So this is a alcohol stove that I made. This is from the large tea cans, Arizona tea type of things, and put those together. This is from Jiu-Jitsu 2000, I think it is, his stove. Saw a thing on YouTube on different type of alcohol, and they said the heat burns hotter and longer, and so we're going to put that in there today, and just put that down into the center of that, and then reach into my fire kit that came out of my pack, and I've got several different ways of making fire in my pack. This comes from Urban Prepper out of Seattle, of using these type of Ziploc bag, or not Ziplocs, but they're zip bags, using different colors for different things. Like I have a light blue one that has my water filter in it, the orange one is for my fire, red one is first aid, black are for my tools, and these are in my big bags. And inside of this one I have waterproof matches, I have some more of those stoves, pellets, I have dryer lint, I have steel wool with a 9-volt battery that's got tape around it, I have a Surefire that I'm going to use. If you haven't used a Surefire, when you pull it apart, the handle comes off as well. It's got a little piece from the handle. and inside of it you can put your wet fires. I think I've got 2 or 3 in there, and I've got extra wet fires. I just made up, show my daughter how I did this. I don't carry a magnesium strip with a ferrocium rod anymore. I don't like them, but I like having the magnesium with me. And so I've done a short video on it. I've got to post it on taking the magnesium strip with a very aggressive file and filing it down and making the powder and using that. And so that's what I've got in this canister, along with some more matches. And then of course everybody carries Vaseline with cotton balls. This is actually just pure Vaseline. I have the dryer lint that I can use it on, or I can smear it on kindling, but I don't have the cotton balls in here. And then just a regular lighter, a couple of lighters. And so I'm going to use this strike force to light the alcohol. And there's that. And go ahead and put these rods in. And we just want to test out our Cozies that we've made. She went and got some water. And so we'll go ahead and put that on in the pot and let that start going. You have water on? On my phone. And so what I'm going to do is just time it to see how long it takes with this alcohol stove to boil 4 cups of water, so we can make our top ramen. Everybody calls it top ramen, but I call it top ramen because everybody loves ramen. And so that's what I do. And so I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. I know when I up in the woods, I did 2 cups of water to make some hot chocolate, and it took right at 5 minutes with this stove. So I'm guessing it's going to be probably 10 minutes, but we'll come back and let you know how long it took. All right, it started raining on us, so we had to move the camera underneath the eave of the house, put an umbrella up to keep us a little protected. When I put the stove on, I forgot to put the top on top of the alcohol stove, and so it ended up not doing right for the first 5 minutes. And then I corrected that, and I ended up hitting my phone at 15 minutes and turned it off. So it was about 20-25 minutes to get 4 cups of water to boil, but anyway, it didn't take long. So we got the boiling water, so we're putting in our top ramen. With the pack. I just bought one of the titanium spoons. Go ahead. 3 minutes. I've never used it before. I got it mainly for using pouches, but I'll use that. And on this particular stove, I don't know if I've already mentioned it, the top lid is actually kind of inverted, and so I made a lid to go on top of that to help hold in the heat. And so we'll boil our top ramen for 3 minutes and get that ready, and then we'll do that. Again, these pots, or snuggies, whatever you want to call them, Cozies. I just made them out of a windshield protector, sunscreen, and then I used some aluminum duct tape to hold it all together. Formed it around the pot. You do want to make it a little bit larger than the pot so that they'll slide on and off easy. This one, because of the handle the way it is, I cut a groove into it so that it will go up around it and comes all the way up to it. And then the cover on this one I made really large, and so it does come down all the way, and it's easy to come on and off. This one goes on and off the bottom of the pot fine. I brought it down to the bottom of the handle I know Shug and different people, when they make them below the lip so that they can drink out of it. And that's what I did on this one. But then again, like I said, the cover ended up being too snug, and I'm probably going to have to redo that. But as you can see, and I put another guard or grip on the bottom of it so I could pull them apart if I needed to. So that's what we're going to use, and once it gets boiled up here in about 3 minutes, and we'll come back and see how they work.
Time is up. Time is up.
All right, there's our 3 minutes. And so what I'll do is take this off, put it in its cozy. To put the stove out, I have the bottom of a normal can, a normal Coke can, to create the fire, and then I have the bottom of a third tea can that you use to snuff out the fire. And so that's out. I have a windscreen. Like I said, it started to rain and the wind started to blow a bit, and so I have a windscreen that I made out of a lasagna tin. I've got to redo it because I made it too close to the edge and I got the lips, and I want to make it a little bit wider, but that's that. And so now we'll add the seasoning packets to the top ramen. And I'll let my lovely assistant stir it. Okay. And then we'll put the top back on it, and the top snuggie and or cozy, and we'll let that sit for a few minutes, and then we'll pour it into the other pot, and we'll have lunch. See you in a minute. All right, we let the noodles settle for a little bit, and split them up. Put the covers on this one and let them sit, and then separate them between the two, and now we're going to have lunch. So hopefully this, of course, it's supposed to be hot, but hopefully this has been a helpful video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.